I want to recognize, I'm going to share a couple of slides with you here in a minute, but before I do, I want to recognize our corporate team. I want to recognize our resident proctologist, Dr. Eric Barkov. I looked over, he looks like he's 25 or 30 with this hat on. I love how Samson didn't recognize Gilbert. He goes, sir, do you speak English? Gilbert looks up, he's like, it's me, Gilbert.
You can't tell with the hat.
I want to recognize Marco for tirelessly, day in and day out, serving this incredible community. Please give Marco a big hand. And please give a big hand to Sean Kenny, who's with VIP support, who flew all the way in from Florida, and Morgan, VIP support, who came in from Utah, and Sophie, and Becca, and the corporate team that came in to support this amazing event. I want to give a big hand to them. I think we're out of time. Sophie and Becca, where are you at? Stand up, Sophie and Becca. I don't know where Sean and Morgan are at, but I want to say something about Sophie and Becca. They are very honest. They're wonderful people. They're hardworking. They serve day in, day out. But they claimed the last 2 nights they were in bed by 9 p.m. in Las Vegas. I don't know if I believe it. You guys believe they were in bed by 9 p.m. in Las Vegas? Anyways, they're awesome. They do an amazing job. Thank you, Sophie and Becca. And there's Morgan. Give Morgan a big hand. Morgan's with our VIP support team. Morgan has a number of years of experience prior to 3 right here in the industry, but she's done such an amazing job and such an amazing thing to have somebody that speaks Chinese and that is local in Utah to help our U.S. We've got a number of VIP support agents that help here in the United States. You do an amazing job. Thank you, Morgan. We're Sean Kenny, there he is. Hey, Sean. So yesterday, by the way, I'm just going to say something. I had someone come up this morning about Tyson over here on the wall, and they said, we just want you to know that I know a leader, one of the top leaders in the entire company in your previous platform. They said you are awesome. They told Tyson this morning. We know a leader from your previous community said you're amazing. 3 is lucky to have you. You're awesome. And I jokingly said to this wonderful person, Tanya Valentine. By the way, new 4-star, Tanya Valentine. New 4-star. I jokingly said to Tanya, that's so nice. And Tyson owe you $50 to say this. I was joking, but I love hearing compliments from our amazing team. And yesterday, I was out with Barkle at the table out front here, and Barkle came up and said, Daniel, you gotta hear this. Somebody just grabbed me and said, I've never had customer service like I had from Sean Kenny. Never. And I want to recognize Sean for that, because he goes for 2 years, at the beginning of 3, he's gone above and beyond. So thank you, Morgan, Sean, Sophie, and Becca for all you guys do. Thank you guys. I'm going to share just a couple of things, and I promise not to be as intense. But I want to share, I'm not a big slide guy, and I don't use slides because they slow you down. And a lot of people have seen this. If you haven't, great. If you have, this is the first time, fantastic. But I'm going to share a couple just quick graphics with you guys as we close out. I think this is one of my favorite slides because to me this is success. Success is not a straight line. And the reason why I can get up and talk about Kim and Samson and Holly and Corbin and Chloe and Hebbing and Leah and all of our amazing leadership and what Mark Ewell's seen for years, what Holly DeMont's seen, what Christine Peterson has seen and experienced and lived, and all of our amazing leadership is success is not a straight line. And right here you'll see success, the iceberg illusion. This is what people see. They see Michael Jordan at the top. They see Tony Robbins at the top, Michael Phelps. They see these amazing people. They don't see the persistence and the failure and the sacrifice and the disappointment and the discipline and the hard work and the dedication. They don't see when the music goes off and the lights are no longer on, they don't see what people are doing behind the scenes. It's one thing to get up here with a microphone and the music's playing and, oh, welcome 4-star Bob Jones, and everybody starts cheering. But when Bob Jones is at home for 30 days prior to the event, they didn't see the dinners he missed out on. They didn't see the meals and the connection and the sacrifices, the family meals he missed out on, or the kids' games, creating the sacrifices. I don't want us to take for granted what success is, but I also want you to digest this because you're going to go through all these things if you want any level of success. And I'm a big believer the single worst thing for success, massive success, is a little bit of success. It's one of the worst things. People get a little bit of success in this industry and they go, I'm finally making $250 a week. I don't need to listen to my upline anymore. I got it all figured out. Or I'm a 4-star now. Why would I listen to my 6? I don't even like the way they dress. I'm not going to listen to their advice, their counsel, their wisdom. The worst thing for success is a tiny bit of it. Let's humble ourselves. Man, I love sitting in a room with people that are smarter than me. I get invited in some of these rooms, and I leave these rooms and go, I'm broke. I got a lot to learn. Because there's so many different levels. If Warren Buffett walked in the room right now in his mid-90s and took a seat up front and says, I want to chat with you guys about investing, you think he'd listen? Of course you would. There's different levels to this game. The guy with 50 million looks at the guy with 5 million and says, I feel so bad for him. The guy with 5 billion looks at the person with 50 million and says, how do they afford to put fuel in their plane? There's so many different levels, but I want you to digest this. Success is not a straight line, and it's also not a destination. That was part of my journey last year, is you never arrive somewhere. You're constantly growing and evolving and changing and pivoting and moving and challenging yourself. Next thing I want to share is leadership. Pouring yourself into someone else's life for their benefit. Man, this to me is the definition of leadership. I think leadership is, oh, that guy's tall and he's got a commanding presence and his name's James Dixon and he's got a great voice. I think people judge, again, they judge what a leader looks like. They don't know that the leader is the mom at home taking care of her kids. They don't know that it's the teacher at school that might only make $50,000 or $60,000 a year that's changing their community. Leadership is so much more, but to me, than what we judge. To me, this is everything. Pouring yourself into someone else's life for their benefit. I can't think of a better industry than this industry. It's literally what we do. When you start pouring yourself into other people, your team will explode. Next thing, Socrates. Who's heard of Socrates, by the way? Unbelievable wisdom. But the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. There's a reason I called up, not out, called up Gary Wharton. He's meant for big things. By the way, you're going to be one of the top leaders in the company. I already know. I can feel it. I don't know it, I just feel it. I can see it, I can feel it. Okay? There's a reason, because Gary's focused on building Gary into the new. Hepping is 72 years old, and him and Leah are not talking about what they've done the last 10 years. They're talking about what they're going to do the next 10. We're going somewhere massive. We're going to triple this company. But to do that, I need everybody in this room to focus on the new. I don't want you to focus on the past trauma. I was in 2 companies and making money. Who cares? It's like somebody signs up and says, what if I lost all my money? Change your thinking. What if you change your entire family's life? One decision will change generations. I'm the only person, the only one in my family, without getting too. My dad had a 9th grade education. I was raised in Colorado. My mom was from Pennsylvania. My dad was from Louisiana. I do not come from an educated family. I'm a halfway smart guy, but you wouldn't know it on paper because I'm not formally educated. But I didn't let that hinder me. I'm always focusing on the new. Where are we headed? I want 2025. I almost don't want people to even share their past stories when they get up. Yes, it made you who you are. Yes, we want to hear your story. Yes, we want to hear your journey. But I want to hear where you're headed. In June, when people cross the stage and they have 10 minutes to speak, instead of them spending 8 minutes on their past and 2 minutes on their future, I want them to spend 30 seconds on their past and 9.5 minutes on their future. I want to know where you're headed. I want to know what wisdom you bring. If you're a really good basketball player, if you think you're pretty decent, stand up. I'm being being serious. I think you're a basketball player. Stand up for me. I think we're all gifted. Albert Einstein said every one of us has genius inside of us, but if we judged a fish's ability to climb a tree, the fish would think it was an idiot. Fish aren't meant to climb trees, Albert Einstein. They're meant to be in the ocean. So stay standing for me if you don't mind. Stay standing. You're good at basketball. If you're a creative person in here, like really creative, I know some of you are super creative. You should be the first one that stands up, Dr. Barkle. If you're creative, you've got a gift for graphic design or talent or making videos, like Yui, Kim's son, he's a graphic designer. Goes to the finest school in USC Film School in LA. If he was here, we'd have him stand up. If you're a creative person, stand up. I'd have to sit down, by the way. Stand up. If you're an outgoing person that's got great people skills, you've been outgoing since you were in 5th grade, you're the person to stand up. If you're an outgoing person, stand up. Seriously. If you are somebody that's had no financial success in network marketing previous to 3, stand up. Previous to 3, no financial success in the industry. If you are somebody that's gone through a tragedy, a real tragedy, I'm talking you lost a parent too young, or someone in your life. If you went through tragedy, stand up for me. If you're somebody that's just incredible with numbers and finance, but you're like, I don't even know why I'm at this 3 thing. I'm a finance person. Why am I here? Stand up. If you're somebody that says, I can't love myself, so how can I love somebody else? I want you to be honest with yourself. If that's you, stand up. Stand up. If you're someone who says, and everybody better stand up. I learned a ton in the last 36 hours. I want you to stand up. I want you to stand up. I love Dr. Bob's question about how are we all different. When he asked that, I was thinking, man, how are we all the same? I don't have a creative bone in my body. I know when Barkle does something that I love, I know right away because I know what I like the look of, but I don't have a creative. If you ask me to draw a stick figure, I don't know what I can draw a stick figure. I'm not a creative person. We all have collective skills. Your skills are totally different than mine. You're so gifted in areas I'm not. You're so gifted in areas that our corporate team is not. But I asked everybody to stand up because I don't want anybody to judge anybody anymore. If you're in 3, you're in a love 3 zone. If you're in 3, I believe in you. If you're in the United States, I believe in you. If you're in Canada, I believe in you. I love when Kim talks about this is just our body, our covering up. If you're in Asia, I believe in you. There's way too much talk of, do they like the USA? I'm an American through and through. My wife is a Canadian. By the way, Canada's just the party on top, the hat on top of the party, I've heard people say. I love Canada. I love Hong Kong. I love Taiwan. I've been to Taiwan a few years. I love Taiwan. I love Asia. I love Southeast Asia. I love Australia. I love New Zealand. I love Europe. We're not in Europe yet, but who wants to have a massive business in Europe? We have a massive business in Europe. I start right here. We have a massive business in Asia. I start right here. But we're going to light the United States on fire. And collectively, we're an amazing group of people. We're going to take the judgment out of 3. We're going to take the pre-judging. If I just had that person as the head of this organization, I'd be massive. No. If you grab the single mom who's dead broke and poured into them like leadership for somebody else's benefit, you'd be massive. It's not about sponsoring the right person, it's about becoming the right person. And when you become the right person, you have a complete shift. By the way, society is shifting. Everybody can sit down. Society is shifting. I'm telling you, we've got a shift like never before. Best project we work on is you. By the way, I created this graphic just for me, not for you guys. Best project you'll ever work on is you. I'll say it again. I want to inspire people. I want someone to look up at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. I'm going to steal one more story from Jim Rohn where he talks about Lydia that joined the company. It's a true story. It had no money. And she said, Jim, back when he was a networker, before he became a personal development coach, Jim Rohn said, I met Lydia. And Lydia said, I have no money. And Jim Rohn said, I've been looking for you for a long time. He said he handed her a catalog, and then Lydia went out and got her first 5 distributors. She couldn't even place her order, but she used their money to place her order and said, when the order comes in, I'll owe you the product. I've been looking for you for a long time. We're all looking for somebody to build our business. You own your business. But Jim inspired her, and she's gone on to inspire a lot of people. She passed away a few years ago. But I want to inspire people. I want Barco to grab me at the office at 8 o'clock at night by the arm and said, because of you, I didn't give up. I want Tyson 3 years from now to say, man, I can't believe I've been in the industry 18 years, which will be 21 at that point, but the last 3, holy moly, did I grow. I want Kim to sit in front of me 3 years from now at a dinner in some beautiful locale, and Kim say, I've been in the industry 34 years, because at that time it would be 34. And holy moly, has the last 3 years been totally different than my first 31. I had a lot of success, but this is a different type of success. I want somebody in this room to come up to me and say, I was about to quit before February 1st, 2025 in Las Vegas. I was done. February 20th, February 21st, if you had called me, I was donezo. Until 10 days later, I showed up in Las Vegas. I didn't quit because of you, you big, bald, goofy dude, Daniel. I didn't quit because of Kim's leadership and Samson and Holly and Corbin and our amazing team. I want to inspire people. That's my number one fuel, if you ask me. I want to inspire people that come up someday and say, I didn't quit because of you. I was inspired because of you. I was inspired because of the corporate team. I was inspired because of your field leadership that treated me totally different than I've ever been treated before. I want us all to make this our goal. Something we chase is to inspire people. The next thing's raw. The dream is free. Hustle is sold separately. I can't teach you how to hustle. Kid knocked on my door 10, 11 days ago, and I spent an hour and 20 minutes with him. He lost his father, and I just getting to know him. He didn't have a dad in his life. It hit a nerve with me. But he had been out for 11 hours, and I can't teach you how to hustle. We can teach you all the skill sets. Kim's knowledge is worthless if you don't put it in action. Any little wisdom I share with you is worthless if you don't put it in action. The dream is free. There's so much talk in this industry about the dreams. Get your dream board out, take your 22 items and post them on there. And then you post them there and you hang them for 5 years and you're driving the same car 5 years later. Am I a huge believer in dreams? 100%. They've worked for me. My dreams are massive. I showed Kim a few months ago this brochure for the Four Seasons. Four Seasons hotel chain has a private jet tour. You jump on this jet for 33, 34 days. They take you to 6 countries in 4 weeks. They got a doctor on board, a private jet on board, Hermes blankets. For those of you who know what Hermes is, it's this handmade. Anybody know Hermes? Just ask them. You get on there you go travel the world. They hit 4, 5, 6 different countries. You go to Rwanda and see the gorillas in Rwanda. And then you go to Athens, to the Parthenon. I've been to the Parthenon a few years ago. Barco was there with us, huh? Remember the lady at the Parthenon? I said, how long is this going to be done to be completed? It's one of the oldest art. It's a true story. This lady's giving us a tour. And there's 2 guys up there with saws working on the Parthenon in Athens. And I said, when's this going to be done? She said, 70 to 80 more years. I said, y'all need to hire some more people. There's only 2 people up there working. But I want you to see the world. I want you to dream. But I can't teach you this. I can't teach you to have the heart. I can't teach you to get up. When I get a phone call this morning, I get so worked up. I got a phone call this morning saying, Daniel, you're probably busy. I didn't think you'd answer, but you answered. And I just want to thank you for this platform. I just want a minute or 2 to thank you for this platform. I said, don't thank me, thank we, because it's not just me. It was Kim Wee, H-U-I-W-E. I said, don't thank just me, thank us. But I said, before we go real quick, we're 60 seconds into a call. You know how you thank me? And he said, how? And I said, you go out and share it with others. Because if you hold on to something that you love, if you hoard something that you love, but you're not willing to share the gift, how selfish is that? So if you really truly mean what you're telling me on this call, which I believe you to be sincere, go share this gift called free. There's only a couple more of these. This is raw. Support your friends' businesses and progressions like you support the celebrities you don't know. And we live in such a celebrity-obsessed world. I'm buying this because I saw this post from blah, 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 blah. I could go pay all the influencers. There's some amazing influencers out there. But you can go create a list, and I can pay this influencer and that influencer. And some of that's awesome if it's genuine and sincere. But how many of your friends, like Alicia Clevenger's sister, who I've never met, won't even join her group, but probably buys products that celebrity posted online, but won't support her own sister's business? There's not a kid in the world that's knocked on my door to buy World's Finest chocolate that I haven't bought a chocolate bar from the last 20 years. There's not a lemonade stand in the neighborhood that I don't support. I walked up to a kid this summer, 3 kids there. I said, how much is the lemonade? They said, $1 a cup, sir. I said, here's 100 for you. Here's 100 for you. Here's 100 for you. I called their mom over. Here's 100 for you. I said, give me 400 cups and give them to everybody that comes in here the rest of the day. Right? I do it all the time. No, don't clap for me. It's what I'm supposed to do. Thank you, though. There's nobody I don't buy chocolate from. There's no lemonade stand I don't support. There's no kid that knocked on the door the other day. I said, we don't need solar. Thank you, but here's 3 names of people that might as you walk out the door. I said, if you want to use my name as a referral with the neighbors, you can tell them that I didn't buy your product, because if you said I did, that'd be dishonest, but you can tell them that I recommend who you are as a person, and they should at least listen to your presentation. Let's support each other and what we do, not some random celebrity that could care less about you and you've never even met. Next thing is, you are amazing. Remember that. You get these rooms and they're intense. Kim has so many, I keep bringing up Kim, she has so many different sides. I've seen her with her very casual dress and her sneakers on, and she just shows up and she's bubbly and she's bouncing off the walls in a leadership meeting, and then I've seen her get intense. I have so many different sides. Remember, none of us always or nevers. No one I know is always one way or never another way. We're beings that are growing, evolving, and learning and challenging ourselves. Why do I bring that up? Because I want you to remember you're amazing. You're going to get in these rooms and you're going to see Kim be intense. You're going to see Tyson, who has a competitive side, and get intense with you and drive you. I won't be there. Tyson will be in some city when he goes on a North American tour. I might not be there at all. And Tyson can sit down with you and say, if you want, Harry, if you want your business to go to the next level, but you're telling me you've talked to 5 people in 6 months, you're delusional, it ain't gonna work. He might tell you that. And I'd support him 110%, it's the truth. You're gonna be in situations where we're intense, you're gonna be in situations with a lot of love, you're gonna be in situations, this is a leadership meeting. This isn't a show up so you can, this is a leadership meeting. But when you leave this room in a few minutes, I want you to remember you're amazing. My number one thing of why I love this industry is because we help people grow. And I am humbled to have such an amazing corporate team that stuck by me through my intensity. I always joke, I'm like a wigwam and a teepee on 2 tents. If you got that, you got it. If you didn't, you didn't. I'm an intense person, I've already said that 10 times, but I believe in you. My intensity is to push you, to challenge you, so you get out of your comfort zone, because you won't grow unless you do. When you walk out of the show, I want you to know I love you. Our corporate team loves you. Our field leadership, led by Kim and Samson, we love you. You guys are amazing. That's not cheesy, by the way. That's sincere. I love you guys. Get to know me. I'd love to get to know you on a personal level. I'd like to know who your spouse is, your kids, what you dream about, your hardships, your frustrations, where you want to go, how I can help you grow. I love you guys. You're amazing. The last thing, I just want to share a couple more quick points that I jotted down here. I felt something coming into this event that I've never felt before in my 8 years in this industry, and it's a shift. Not to echo off what Kim said, but Kim talks about a shift in humanity. I can feel the same thing, but I felt it really heavy the last couple months. I'm not trying to sound like a weirdo, but I've just felt this shift. I think people are waking up. Other people would tell you they're not. Other people would tell you people are dumber than ever. People are dumb. People are stupid. I don't agree. I think people are waking up. I think people are questioning decades of advice they've been given that sucks. And I think I saw a meme about 6-8 weeks ago that I loved, and it was a picture of this kid, looked about 14, 15 with his grandma. And he says, Grandma, before the internet, how did you get good information? And below it, she said, we didn't. We just believed a lot of lies, and we handed them down from generation to generation to generation. Woo! I believe that. I believe people are waking up and saying, I hate the word truth because everybody's truth is different, but people are waking up and saying, how do I live a healthy life? How do I have great relationships? Wow, I think those people in Asia might not be quite as different as we've been told for decades. I think those people in Europe, where my ancestors came from, are more like us over here in America than we thought. The world's not becoming a smaller place, it's becoming a bigger place. It's become smaller through technology and people being connected more than ever. That's made it smaller, but consciousness is bigger. I believe people are opening up, but I believe there's a shift taking place, and I want us to be part of that shift. I want us to be part of a movement of change. We're going to get attacked someday. When we're a massive company in a couple of years, we'll get attacked. I expect that's what happens when you're changing. I don't live to worry that people don't talk about myself or the company, talk bad. I worry about when they stop. That's a change. Oh, we know Kim. She was with that J company. I know all about Kim. I met her 12 years ago. You don't know crap. I know Mark Huel. That Mark Huel. I know that guy. I know Hemming. No, you don't. You don't know his heart. You don't know her heart. Why do I bring that up? There's a shift happening. I want some shift warriors. I want some people that are not just leaders and not just 4 stars and 5 stars on this identity. I want to help people shift in here. When I sit down with Mark, and I said this a year ago, when I sit down with Mark, I'm intense with Mark. I believe in Mark. When I sit down with Kim, there's an intensity. With Samson, there's an intensity. Samson's not. I haven't been as intense with the last 2 years because I'm a little scared of Samson. I don't want to be weird and say I believe in like other lives or something, but Samson was like some old Chinese warrior with a sword or something. So I don't know what it is the last 2 years, right? Man, this guy, he's got some old stuff in him. He's like an old soul. I just like kind of want to sit at his feet and say, please educate me. Yeah. But I'm being serious. There's a shift happening, and I'm almost done here. But I want a bunch of shift warriors. I want you to leave here, and who cares if the phone's 600 pounds? The person on the other end needs to know that you're calling them because you love them. And they'll only do that in trust and respect. I'm going to share a couple real quick things. Number one, people will only let you lead them if they trust you. I can speak the truth into somebody because they know I love them and care about them. Tanya Valentine, who's been with us for a number of years, and is so loyal, knows that when I speak the truth, it's because I care about her. Mark knows I care about her. Chloe knows I care about her. Barkle, as a human being, knows I care about her. People will let you lead them and guide them if they know you care about them and they trust you. Make those the 2 things you work on to believe. Care about people and get them to trust you. Next thing I put down here is, I'm so sick of hearing I did my best. It makes me want to vomit. Stay broke. Broke mentality. I did my best. Remember that old song from like the 90s? I did my best. Remember that? And I won't sing it. And my best wasn't good enough. You guys remember that song? That's how I feel like with 90% of the people that join this industry. I did my best. And I want to say, and your best wasn't good enough. Guys, stop it. Stop fooling yourselves. I don't want to live in a world of delusion. I sat my wife down and said, we got a pretty darn good marriage. 7, 8 months ago. How do we make it easy? I've never been married before. Marriage is the #1 cause of divorce. I said, I want to make sure I got something stellar, not just good. My wife told me the other day, standing in the bathroom, man, you make me feel loved every day. I told my wife the other day, I said, you're not beautiful. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I meant it. She texted me this morning, I'm just so proud. Then she texted me after that, we went back and forth this morning before she went to church. She says, I'm so proud of Kim. I'm so proud of Holly Corbin. I'm so proud of Samson. I'm so proud of Lance and Tracy. She named, I should grab my phone, she like went down and named like 40 leaders on Texas. She hadn't even been that involved in the last 2 years, and she remembers all the names of people. Beautiful moment. So I'd say that, I want you to stop fooling yourself with delusion. I did my best. Your best wasn't good enough. My mentor that beat me up so bad in my 20s, I used to be so proud of myself. Man, I did this, and this is what I'm doing. He'd say, I'm not impressed. So if you came here to impress me, and I used to be so offended, and what a beautiful lesson that was. He said, it's not a destination. He said, you need to grow. You need a challenge. You need somebody that's going to be in your face and speak truth to you. He was the first person, by the way, that spoke truth to me in my life. He spoke truth that I needed to hear. And I can imagine if he was still alive today, it was me singing, I did my best, and him stopping me about halfway through and saying, your best sucked. You're better than that. Here's my message to you, you're better than that. It's not that I want you to just break out of the delusion, I want to say you're better than that. I know our corporate team, I observe a lot. Sometimes I'll just sit back in a meeting. I'll be in touch for 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll just sit back for 15 or 20, and I'll let them chat. I'm like, are they trying to convince me of something? Or are they trying to convince themselves? Are you trying to convince someone else, or are you trying to convince yourself? How do you get somebody in free if you're not even bought into what we're doing yourself? How do you get somebody to follow you if you don't even trust you? Ooh, ouch. How do you get somebody to follow you if you haven't built a bridge that they know you love them before you pitch your next opportunity to them? I hate that word, pitch. I want you guys to stop fooling yourself. I want you guys to know that your best wasn't good enough. You've got more in you. And I know that because if we were absolutely, if people were absolutely killing it, we'd have 106 stars across the stage this weekend. We'd have 304 and 5 stars. I'm telling you, your best wasn't good enough, but I can tell you this, nobody's seen a room this talented. I love you guys, I believe in you. 2 more things and I'm done. Our birthday's May 30th. I know a lot of people say, you started shipping products February 20th of 2023. Correct, but our birthday's May 30th. We went into a pre-launch for 4.5 months. And our birthday, our second birthday, it's like having a kid. I never had my own biological kid. I always tell people, I married into 4 kids. You add some flour, add some milk, add some water, and turn the stove up, and you got instant family. You know? Well, I never had my own kid. It'd be like having a kid. Watch it go from 1 to 2. What's my point? We're very young. I love the people sitting on the sidelines. When 3 proves to me that I should join and build, I'll be there. We have nothing to prove to you. I'm very proud of what we've done in such a short period of time. When I look at the last 19, 20 months, thank you, I couldn't be more proud of you guys. I couldn't be more proud of Kim, the entire leadership team. I'm proud of where we're at. It'll be our second birthday. By the way, I'm going to share an interesting stat with you that I was reading just recently. No company with a massive explosion, their first year, 18 months, 2 years, has lasted past the decade. Now you're saying, what do you mean? That doesn't make sense. No. There's only been a couple, and most of them got bought out by private equity and my bank. I want this growth trajectory, which is exactly what we're on. And boom! I could not be more proud of where we're at. Here in the good old USA. All over the world. I'm proud of where we're at. We'll be 2 years old on May 30th. We might have a giant birthday cake that we serve to a few thousand people in June. I couldn't be more proud of what we've done and where we're headed in 20 short months. Thank you. My last thing that I jotted down here is I always want to be raw. I shared with you guys yesterday. Fake it, you make it just doesn't work with me. I can't do it. I can't do it. I think we all have to compartmentalize where you're at different times, right? I had a tough day or afternoon. I'm walking in the door, to my wife late at night. I probably need to give her a hug. She doesn't need to hear about my tough day. That's wisdom. Or I'm getting on the phone with a prospect. You want to know why you can't enroll a lot of people? Because you're getting on the phone and gossiping with them about nothing that matters. And so the next time the caller ID comes, when they look at your phone, they go, yeah, I don't want to pick up Janie's call because she spent 20 minutes last time talking to me about nothing. You ready for this? I always call people with an intention. It's my last thing I want to share with you guys. I believe in you. I love you. But I want us to be intentional in 2025. You know how crazy it would be for me leading this company to say, I want us to go grow, but there's no plan. We're having an offsite management day in a couple of weeks. All we're talking about is 2025 and the growth and how my team better serves the field. It's going to be a 6-8 hour day, hard hitting, with the executives of the company. And Tyson and I sit down for 6 to 8 hours talking about our strategy and our plan and what we're going to do specifically to grow. I want you to treat your business the same. Don't gossip. Cut all that out, by the way. And stop worrying if people are going to talk bad about you. They're going to. I saw somebody put that up earlier. They're going to. I promise you. And guess what? The more success you have, the more they're going to come. But guess what else is so beautiful? How many people you can help.
For me, I think this microphone might have died, Barkle. Hello.
I think the most beautiful thing is how many people you can help. And that's my message to you. I'm going to go help a lot of people. Tyson's going to help a lot of people. We are going to help a lot of people. Ken Sampson, our leadership team. Lance, Tracy, Heavy, Chloe, Mark Ewell, Patrick Tang, Harris, Holly DeMont, Christy Peters. I go down the list. We're going to go help a ton of people the next few years. That's my overriding message from my heart. Not from here, but from my heart. It's how many people we're going to go help. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to lead by example, to go help as many people as we possibly can. But I'm going to ask you to be on board with me. It's my final point. I want you to be all in. If you're a toe dipper, when I said earlier, you got a ton of experience, but you haven't got anything in 2 years, go find somewhere else. Do you know why I said that? It was a sincere statement. You know why? I want you to succeed. I'm doing this. This is bigger. My conscience is bigger than just I want you to succeed. I want you to be where you're happy. And if there's something holding you back, I want to break that. I'm a massive believer in breakthroughs. I'm a massive believer in going to a different level. I'm a massive believer in not being held back by the chains and the bounds of your past. I changed my life. You can change your life. I guarantee we hand the microphone to 100 people in this room, they're going to tell you how they changed their life. My last message to you is I love you. You're amazing. I believe in you, but I want you to fall in love with what we're doing. This is my form of art. I never really told kids. I walked through a kid's house. She's beautiful. But I love art. I've been obsessed with art since I was a little kid. I can't understand it. I used to go to the art museum in Denver with no money. I'd have $5 and I'd take $3 to go to the art museum and then I'd go buy a hot dog. I used to spend 6, 8, 10 hours at art museums. I can tell you more about art than you've ever wanted to know. I've been that way since I was a little kid. Love art and I love shoes. I didn't get my first pair of brand new shoes until I was 16. $84 at Bo Jackson, Southwest Plaza. You want to know what's so cool? I took my wife 2 years ago. Her birthday is February 14th, Valentine's Day. I took her to the Waldorf Astoria in Cabo the year before we launched this amazing platform. And we're getting in the car, and the driver there's got a sign, Mr. Piku, Waldorf Astoria. I said, baby, it's your birthday. True story. We look over, who's on my right? Getting into a white Escalade in Cabo. Bo Jackson. I said, I told you my first pair of shoes was Bo. There he is. I said, Bo Diddley, Bo knows. You don't know me, but I live in Salt Lake. My wife and I are here celebrating her birthday. But you were one of my heroes growing up. Bo Jackson, one of many heroes. I never met him until casually in Cabo 3 years ago. Going on vacation. The story would be okay if it was a little bit better. I checked in the Waldorf Astoria in a beautiful room, and guess who was in the pool? And that happened. Bo Jackson. He said, are you following me? It's a 45-minute drive. What a nice guy. You know, they say don't meet your heroes, you'll be disappointed. Not with Bo. meet your heroes. You'll look up to them even more. I saw how he treated people over the next 3 or 4 days when I ran into him. And we were at dinner that night at a cliffside restaurant. Guess who was there again? I said, do me a favor. See that real nice gentleman over there with the lady? He said, yes, sir. That's Mr. Jackson. I said, that's Mr. Jackson. Do me a favor. Give me his check. And I said, do me another favor. Get the oldest bottle of Dom Perignon your seller has and send it over. She said, oh, I don't. Are you sure? You want me to see the menu? I said, I don't need to see the menu. She said, we got some old stuff. I said, make sure it's really old. You have to dust it off. And I sent her over a bottle of champagne. I said, thanks for being one of my heroes. She gave me the check. It was enough to choke it off. I didn't know you could spend $6,300 on a bottle of champagne. But I told my wife, I said, he's one of the guys I looked up to when I was young. What's $6 grand? You want to know what else is cool about that? He doesn't even know what it costs to this day. Who cares? He just thinks it's some expensive bottle. But guess what I did? 2 days later, we were there for 5 days. 2 days later, I walked up to someone, a Hispanic employee at the Waldorf Astoria. I said, Bo's been with you guys for a couple days. How's that been? I will never forget, never ever forget what I found out. Bo, who hasn't been that famous in 25 years, he tips people like he has no errors. So leave the money to him. And I was talking to one of the employees. I said, how's that been? And you know what they said? Bo has this wad of cash in his left pocket, and you open the door, you get a 50. You say, hi, Mr. Jackson, you know, it's like he came here just to give us Mexicans money. I'm dead serious. My respectfully will win up tenfold. He tips like he has no errors. Some people wouldn't tip you if you pulled him out of a burning building. He tipped like he had no errors. There's depth to that. I was tipping like I was a rich man when I was broke. I learned that from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said, walk in and tip like you're a rich man and see how it feels. I was at the country buffet with my grandmother. Last thing I'll share, Littleton, Colorado. Took my grandma before she passed. Country buffet, her restaurant. She liked the taco house for the all-you-can-eat enchiladas, and she liked the country buffet. True story. I was in the country buffet, and there was a mom behind me with a few kids. And I walked up to the lady. $100 was everything to me. I remember getting gas by a lady because I put quarters, $2.25 worth of quarters in my car, gas in my car. Lady laughed at me. Shell gas station on Hampton and Broadway in Inglewood. Those are memories. I remember seared into my first pair of shoes, paying me $4. At Southwest Plaza at 16 years old, I'd saved up and mowed lawns and sold chocolate. I did everything possible. The reason I support World's Finest Chocolate is I sold as a kid. True story. I was at the country buffet and my grandma was there. My grandma was born with polio. My grandma was one of my heroes, by the way, my mom's mom. My grandma was born with polio. We were at the country buffet having lunch. And I said to the cashier, I was so proud. I pulled out a $100 bill. I said, get this lady behind me and her 2 kids something to eat. Here's the all-you-can-eat buffet. And my grandma said, Daddy, you ain't got no money. Why are you buying stuff for strangers? And I said, I'll be paid back 100-fold. And it might not be for a long time. I was 19. Broke as a joke. I've been paid back not 100-fold, 10,000-fold through love. I have a woman by my side that put her arm around me and said, we're in this together. I'll never forget when my wife said to me, you don't have to worry about your trust issues. This is the last time I'm almost done, I promise you. My wife said, you ain't got to worry about your trust issues because you can trust me. And she put her hat on sideways like a gangster and looked at me and said, I'm your ride or die. For 4.5 years, she's been my ride or die. Honey, I gotta leave and go out of town and meet with Kim in Scottsdale. She says, tell Kim I said hi. She's never said, why are you going on another trip? She said, I know what you guys are building. Tell Kim I said hi. She put her arm around me and said, I'm your ride or die. I want to know in this platform, who's your ride or die? Christine Peterson's loved because she has a bunch of ride or dies. Right? Holly Mont's loved because she's got a bunch of ride or dies. And some people might be on the ride for a year or two and they might not be with her. That's a fact of life. But I want you to find your ride or dies. Ride or die. It's an old 57 song, by the way, $50. You talked about your ride or die. Man, this. Get rich or die trying, he said. My message to you is this: I love you guys. Get your people that are with you and believe in you and trust you. I've been through a lot. I pinch myself. And this will be the final thing I'll share with you. I've said that 4 times. My message to my wife about Kim. You know what my wife said? She said she walked up to Kim yesterday and said, "I'm glad Daniel has you." And Kim said back, "I'm glad Daniel has you." So here's my final message to you. Very emotional, speaking from my heart today. I have so much weight. I want to take this thing to billions, but I can only do so much as one person. You guys can only do so much as one people. You got to trust me. I got to have a collective vision to be all collaborative. But my message to you is, it's one of them. If you could only put yourself in my shoes and know how bad I want it for you. If you could only put yourself in my shoes and know how bad I want you to succeed. But I told this to my wife 2 days ago. I said, I can't give it to anybody. Worst thing you can do is leave a kid a fortune. You'll be broke or on drugs. You have to go through the experiences. You have to go through the people not showing up at the meeting. You have to go through the people that told you they'd be at Starbucks and you drive 30 minutes and they ghost you. You have to go to the people that says you must be crazy to leave a 6-figure corporate job and get one of those things. Do we need to check you in? I can't give you the experiences that I've had, but what I can give you is cheer you and love you like you've never been loved. I want you to go through those things, because when you get up here in a couple of years and you're a 6 and 7 star, the experiences are so valuable. And I want to take you all over the world. It's on my heart, just in the last 30 days, like never before, to get a group of like-minded individuals that I can take all over the globe. And I'm not talking about some run-down hotel that you check in. I'm talking about doing stuff where you go, give me the nicest bottle of champagne, but don't ever bring out the menu. I'm talking about taking you to meals where somebody like Gary, that's as trained as Gary Wharton is, taking you to a meal when you show up at the Japanese fish market where ahi tuna is $200,000 for one fish, and they just cut you off. You know what I'm talking about? They cut you off just a couple slivers. I've been so fortunate to go to every continent. I want you to experience these meals, these people, these relationships, this love. I want you to experience how much bigger it is than even you know. We're all here for a very short period of time in a small dash. But I want to say this. It's so much bigger than you know. And as I sit in my home office downstairs and I sometimes shut the door and I just journal to myself late at night, because I like to get deep. I journal to myself and I think, if people only knew what was out there, they'd run through walls to experience it. But then it came to me on Wednesday night. Most people don't love themselves enough to think they deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve the finest car, the finest home, the finest spouse, the finest relationships, the finest love, the finest people that believe in you, the finest food that money can buy, the finest suit. Sometimes I spend more on a suit, twice as much on a suit jacket as my first car cost. That's a true story. People go, "Are you an idiot?" And I say, "No, I just want to buy crap I can't pronounce because it's Italian." I say that humbly. I want you to experience those things. I want you to experience love. I want you to experience loss, because the loss makes the love so much sweeter. I want you to experience failure, because it makes the success so much sweeter. But I want to leave this room collectively. I wish I could group hug everybody in here. 378 souls. I wish we could get together and hold hands, kumbaya. They already think we're crazy. They really think we were crazy. I want to kumbaya and tell you I love you. I believe in the spirit of the United States of America. It's taking a street kid from Colorado who spent 2.5 years in group homes. It's taking a street kid in Denver, Colorado to make myself. I spent my first 46 years on this planet embarrassed and apologizing for the stuff I went through. I spent the last 8 or 9 months saying, had I not gone through those stuff, I wouldn't be up here. It wasn't a trial and a tribulation, it was a lesson. Wow. I want to thank my dad for leaving for 29 years. I want to thank the state of Colorado for raising me for 2.5 years. I want to thank my wife for believing in me. I want to thank the people here for believing in us and believing in me. You're destined and you're meant for so much more, and June is going to be a breakout. But don't wait till June. We're here February 2nd. February, March, April, May are going to be a breakout. I want you to leave this room. I want you to go hard charging. I don't want you to hang out here for the next 2 hours because I want you to pick up your phones and call somebody you love and tell them what we're doing. I want you to make it home safe. I want you to travel safe. I want you to hug your loved ones. I want you to tell your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your kids or maybe somebody you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe you pick up the phone and say, I wronged you. It's time for me to right my wrong. I love you, and I want you to hear that from me. And my message is this. I love you. I love you.